Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Well, welcome. My name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I am your host for Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living. Our show is available on Roku, Fire, Apple TV, 360 TV, YouTube, Android, and now Zizzle TV. We are excited today to have as our guest Rahul Sharma. He is a mindset coach and the author of 2 incredible books, Habits for Miracles and Be Action Oriented. He's also a motivational speaker who has influenced hundreds of people with his passion for personal growth and development. Let's welcome Rahul to our show. Welcome, Rahul.
Thank you. Thank you, Zane, for having me here. I really am impressed with the work that you are doing for the community. And allowing me to be in your show is truly a pleasure.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself and your mission and what on a daily basis that what you hope to accomplish when you try to inspire people.
Absolutely. So my journey of 20 years of corporate experience ended in December of 2023. And I am on a mission to unleash the potential of college students as well as working professionals. And this inspiration I got in 2016 when I was in an event with the legendary Les Brown, where I went for a public speaking course. And I learned that a lot of colleagues of mine who were participating in that course were making a big impact to others, to the community through their story. And I realized that whatever experience I have got, I should be able to share that with others so that it could benefit many other people rather than just the people that whom I'm working with. So I started working towards this purpose of mine to help others unleash their true potential. But it was very comfortable. The W-2 was very comfortable, so it was not having enough courage to quit the job. But finally, in 2023 is when things happened. And I'm very, very pleased with the work that I have done so far by helping people who are stuck in their career, by helping students to guide them, to give them the direction so that they can live the life that they deserve. And at the moment, I'm helping leaders in across the continent to unleash their true potential as a leader, to establish their leadership credibility, as well as to college students, giving them direction for their future, sharing with them about the building blocks of future. So that is what I have been doing in last 6 to 8 months as I've embarked my entrepreneurial journey as a public speaker, mindset coach, and an author.
Well, that is wonderful. And I love the idea that you're reaching out to students, to young people, because as you know, we all need that, especially when you're young. You're kind of floundering around, you're getting out of college, you're not sure what you're not sure what you want to do, but you know you want to go big, go home or go big. And I think that is wonderful. I admire you for that. Now, some of the things in your books, does that lend itself to teaching kids how to just go out there and do the best they can be?
So it all started, Zane, when I was, as a part of my corporate job, I also used to recruit college students, traveling to different cities to recruit the best talent available. And what I realized that when we hired those individuals who had amazing talent at the time of the interview, I noticed that when they started with us in the corporate job, within 6 months, either they quit on us or we quit on them. Both of us were not able to unleash their true potential. And that started happening year after year. It was just not one of the years. So I realized that there is something not right that is being taught to them in terms of the career. Maybe they are not having the right mindset. They are not prepared for the corporate world. And that's what motivated me to write my book, Habits for Miracles, where I have used miracles as an acronym, 8-letter words, miracles, 8 habits that will help individuals to design their life their way. And that was my main motivation. So currently, I do talk about my book summary to various schools and colleges. Schools I have reached out to them. I have not been very successful in having a talk, but yes, multiple colleges, both in States and India. And in next month, I'm traveling to Indonesia as well as Philippines, where I will be conducting lectures about my book and teaching students on what they need to do to design their life their way.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that you just weren't coming together. I think there's a key or there's a magic into tapping into people to help them reach their potential. And it takes a certain person, and it takes someone like you who knows what they're doing, but you also have to be able to connect with people. And I think that's what your books teach to do. Is it hard for you to connect with people from other parts of the world, or how does that work for you?
Well, yeah, I guess what I have seen is these problems of students, whether they are from States or India or any part of the world, is very, very similar. And a few problems that I have noticed is, number one, they do not have the direction that they need. They seem to be clueless based on my personal experience. They want to do many things in a short duration. They have lack of patience, and they are not prepared to face the corporate world or if they want to become an entrepreneur. So I do see these common things across students and across the globe. And the another major thing which I notice is they are not aware of what they don't know, which is their blind spots. And as a coach, I help them discover their blind spots, make them aware of things that they need to know. That is number one. Number two, I make them accountable in the things that they want to achieve. Because as a coach, I have realized that I cannot drink water on their behalf. Ultimately, they have to drink water. I can bring them to the shore to drink the water. But as a coach, I make them accountable to do things what they need to do. And number two, I follow up. Many a times, as a coach, you just interact with your coachees once or twice, and then you leave on them, and that is where I found things do not work out. So you need to some time to spend with them. Bare minimum 3 months. If I'm able to give them 6 to 8 weeks, I'm able to see a huge difference in the student community as well as in the corporate folks who are in their mid careers. So yes, I do agree that it takes a balance, but the problems are very common, Zane, across the globe.
Well, yeah, and you have to provide, which I think you're doing, the building blocks, because
Mhm.
you can make it easy for them, but like you said, you can't make them drink the water. I mean, you can't drink it for them. And I think
Mhm.
that, and you don't know what you don't know. I think that's a big, big hindrance to people because,
Right.
especially when you're young like that, you think you know everything. Well, so
Mhm.
reading your books, how would the stuff that's in your books, does that come through easily? Or sometimes people learn in all different ways. They have to, hear it, they have to see it, they have to discuss it. What is the best way that you have found that people have learned your principles and have flourished under your direction?
Absolutely. So, my book is divided into three parts, Zane. So, each chapter of my book consists of the theory and the research about a particular habit. The second part talks about my own personal experience on those habits. And number three, which is very important from my perspective, is action items. So as you are reading my book, you get to do things uh, at that moment. It's not that you complete the book and then you start working on your habits. So that has been very, very helpful as what I hear from people who have read my book. So it is every chapter has three takeaways as well as three action items that they need to do before they move on to the next chapter. And my personal anecdotes let them connect with me based on the journey that I have taken. So it is just not anything which is available on internet is just on my book. It is based on the research. Number one, it is based on my personal experience. Number two, and number three, I give them action items that they should be doing as they are going along with the book, and that has helped them. I have seen many folks who have come to me letting me know how the book has really transformed their mindset, how this book has helped them in achieving the results. And I do believe that we all have greatness in us. We all are having that powerful energy that if we want to do something, we can. It's just we need someone in our life who can tell us that you do it, I am behind you. Many times we lack those people who show full support to us, who show full commitment in what we are doing. So that is how people have been reading as well as taking the best out of my book. It is the action items.
I could not agree with you more. That's like sometimes a book will come with a workbook where your action items are kind of like a workbook. And my
Hmm.
biggest personal growth, I mean, I read a ton of those self help books or books to help me get where I needed to be mentally and psychologically. But it wasn't until I got to a real workbook and I actually did the work. This is, on pen and paper. But I think those action items are totally invaluable to people. I love that
Absolutely.
idea.
Yep. See, Zane, what I have seen, if people just read the book for like a novel, yes, they will get the knowledge, but that knowledge will fade away. So it's very important for our listeners is to do the execution. Whatever knowledge that they are gaining from the book, they should implement it, they should execute it. And on the same time, everything may not work for everyone because we all are different. We have different circumstances, we have different surroundings, we have different support systems. So I'm not saying that whatever has worked for me will work for everyone. But what I say is the process may be different, your circumstances may be different. But if you really want to make it happen, if you really want to see that change coming in you, you will make it happen. You will get things done. You need to have that courage. You need to have that support system, and you need to have someone who is giving you that backing that, hey, go on, go ahead, do it. I'm there for you. That support system is very, very important for all of us.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, back to those action items. I just love that. It takes it from a one-dimensional read to a three-dimensional real-life experience because everybody's different. So everybody's response or the way they're going to deal with their action items is different based on the person. But then your results are tremendous because it's just all about you and you've reached it here. And I think that's, well, kudos to you. I love that. Well,
Thank
what
you.
made you first think of that? What was the key moment for you to when you realized to write these books, to put this in there?
So I will tell you about this Be Action Oriented. When I wrote that book, I myself was going through some difficult situation at work. And the content of that book is what I did to myself, how I came out with that negative surroundings, negative moments that were impacting me personally and professionally. And I said, enough is enough. And then I have to take action. Many a times we do think a lot about things. Many a times we do talk a lot about things, but very rarely we actually take action. And this Be Action Oriented is all about that, and how what I did to come out of that difficult situation and then created a path for myself is what I have written in that book. As well as for Habits for Miracles, it was my dream to help students, to help early college graduates to become successful. And I just spent down entire my life experience till I started my first job. What all things have happened with me, how I decided my major, how I decided on my career as a human resource professional. All those tiny things I have mentioned there so that someone can benefit. And when I was going through, I was growing up, yes, I had great mentors from a corporate world as well as from family members. And I thought that if I can share my experience, it could be helpful and beneficial for many others who may not be that fortunate like me, or most of us have those mentors, not everyone. So that's the main reason why I wrote that book.
Well, how did your upbringing in India influence your discipline, sportsmanship, and your value of independence?
Yeah, so I'm glad that I was born in India. One thing which has happened great is the family values, family system. My parents come from very rural area, and they sacrificed a lot. They worked hard to come to the urban life and give me the upbringing that I have got. I have played many sports throughout my college, throughout my school, and that really taught me the value of a team, that value of caring for each other. At the same time, when I was playing cricket, how it is important for you not just to play for yourself, but for the team. How one small contribution of yours can make a big difference for your team. I learned that value of sacrifice, value of independence by staying in a boarding school. I have been in the boarding school right from my eighth grade rather, and meeting there with people from different countries, different parts of the country, which is India, and from coming from different family background, and that really taught me a whole lot of dealing with people. And today I'm very proud to say that I'm very good when it comes to people management. That has been my forte. And when I teach leaders is how to deal with people. Because today, no company has any proper product. Every company's product is its people. Because it is people that really makes a difference. So upbringing with my family, my parents, my teachers in the boarding school, my coaches in the sports area, all that has really helped me grow as a person that I am today and taught me the value of independence as well as bringing discipline in me.
I have a lot of thoughts about learned behavior, and everything you said lent itself to learned behavior because sounds to me like you had some incredible role models, your parents, your teachers at the boarding school, your coaches. Well, not everybody is as fortunate as you are to have that. I mean, a lot of people walk away from this or get to young adulthood and they've had a lot of negative learned behavior. How hard is it to break out of that and to relearn all of those things? Because that's kind of what I had to do. I had a lot of negative learned behavior I had to overcome, and it was a lifelong challenge.
I agree, and I believe that it is fairly easy for you to learn something, but it is very, very challenging for you to unlearn. And I'm with you, Zane, as you mentioned about that it took you a lot of time. I'm glad that you were able to do it. Many of us are unable to unlearn. And today, if you talk about corporate America or any of the corporate world, most of our leaders, they are unable to unlearn the things that they have learned while growing up or when they were not a leader. They learned things from their leader and they continue to do things that could be detrimental for their team or for themselves. So it's fairly really challenging to really unlearn. But I would also say that it is not impossible. You can unlearn things provided you want to unlearn. You need to have that mindset that I need to get these things away from my mindset or from my body or from my behavior. And you need to be disciplined about making that happen. I know it is very easy for me to say, but if I have to give you two things that you can do in order to unlearn something. Number one, know the behavior that you want to unlearn. That is very important. Most of us at times, we don't know the behaviors that we want to unlearn. And number two is have an accountability partner, be it in your spouse, friends, coach, mentor, friend, anyone who can make you accountable for unlearning that behavior. So any time when you are using that behavior that you really want to unlearn or anything that you want to unlearn, there is someone who is coaching you that, hey, you said this word or you behaved that same way that you did not want it to. So one, have that behavior that you want to unlearn. Number two is have an accountability partner. These two things will really make things easy for you to unlearn something and get into a fact that you want to become a better individual.
Absolutely. That's exactly how it was with me. I had so many things going right in my life, but one area that wasn't. But it wasn't until the light bulb went on and I realized this is what's wrong. Then I knew that I had to unlearn something. I had some learned. Once I realized it was learned behavior and not just me being stubborn or this or well, that's just my personality. Then it was much easier to fix. But you do have to be aware of it. And that to me was a godsend when that little light bulb went off because it changed everything. And that's what you do. You help people light that, turn on that little light bulb so that they know what they need to change. I guess through a series of questions or conversations, you help them figure that out.
Absolutely. And I think what I have seen common Zane, is a lot of us are having that fear of failure. They are unable to see the future for themselves and they don't do things because they have this fear of failure. Number two, what I have seen in many people is the self-doubt or their limiting belief that is not allowing them to move further. And number three is they do not have a proper support system, a proper, I would say, a circle of influence. They don't have right people around them. And because of these three things I have seen people limiting to their personal growth, not spending the time or not investing in themselves. Fear of failure, self-doubt, and they do not have right people around them. But all these things can be taken care through, as you mentioned, that how I uncover things is by asking series of questions. As a coach, my job is not to give them answers. My job is to ask them right questions, and the answer lies within them. I just help them to get the right answer. So that really makes my job a little easy, because I am not giving answers. I'm just helping them to get the answers from them.
Well, I think that's wonderful. But I love what you said about you do have to surround yourself with the right people, the right kind of people, the people that have the same mindset, set of values and goals that you have. Because if you're around a bunch of negative people that trash talk something, that you're going to just absorb that negativity. So you do have to surround yourself. That is invaluable, in my personal opinion, and I think that's what you said too. So I think that's wonderful. Well, what would you tell the young people today, like based on your books, if you just had 5 minutes to get them started, what would you tell them? How would you guide them and direct them to the beginning of a great future for themselves?
So I would say number one would be embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure is part of learning. And if you will not fail, you will not learn. So that is number one. Be afraid of a failure. Don't be afraid of getting that thing, screwing up that thing. Don't be afraid of. Number two, I would say, is cultivate self-confidence in yourself. You are worthy of many good things. Get that self-confidence. Start manifesting that mind talk, that positive mind talk. And if you read my book, Habits for Miracles, you will be able to know how to manifest that, how to be a master of mind talk. And number three, I would say, is be consistent in taking action. Don't talk about things. Don't plan many things. I'm not saying those things are not good. Definitely talking and planning is good, but just don't do that. Focus on execution. The best strategy is not the strategy which is written on paper. The best strategy is something that can be executed. So focus on taking action, and that too taking consistent action. If you can focus on these three things, which is embracing failure as a learning opportunity, cultivating a self-confidence that will really help you in conquering things around you. And number three is taking action consistently. That would be really a good starting point for yourself. And as you are doing this, I would request you to love yourself. Take good care of yourself. If you cannot take care of yourself, how can you take care of others? So love yourself and just be humble and show gratitude for everything you have. Many a times we are always looking for things that we don't have, but we forget that Almighty has given some great things. So just be grateful and be thankful for the things we have instead of just looking for things that we don't have. You have kindness, you have greatness in you, and I'm very sure you will do wonders for yourself.
I love that. Thank you. Be kind to yourself and love yourself. You know, sometimes that's the hardest things for people to do. Well, we've come to the end of our show. You were a tremendous guest, and I loved having you on here. Tell us again the name of your books, where they can get them, your websites, how they can talk to you, because you're also a motivational speaker, so they can hire you to speak. Thank you for being my guest, and I'm going to let you talk now about how you can bring all this together.
Thank you, Zane. Thank you. So my books are available on Amazon or anywhere the books are sold. My books' names are Habits for Miracles, and it's an ebook as Be Action Oriented. Be Action Oriented, you can get it on my website, download it for free. You don't have to pay for it as a free gift for all the listeners of the show. You can also visit my website, mindtalkmatters.com. that will help you know what kind of topics that I speak on. And if you want to engage me for any of your corporate events or college events, I would love to be partnering with you and help you and your team achieve the success that they deserve. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Well, I enjoyed you being on our show and being on Dr. Jacqueline's other shows. That's great.
Yes.
Well, you take care of
you,
yourself
Zane.
there in India and protect yourself from those monsoons. They're pretty rough out there.
Absolutely. All right. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you. We've come to the end of our show, and I appreciate you watching. I've got a new book coming out. It's called Abella in the Haunted House. It will be out August 4th. You can get it. See, Abella in the Haunted House. It's anyway, Amazon.com will have it. So, and then the other bookstores will pick it up after that. But it's a cute little book. You'll like it. Well, I love it. But y'all have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Bye.
This program has been brought to you in part by Zane Carson Carruth, etiquette and protocol expert, international award-winning author, television show host, and philanthropist. Thank you to Zane, our official diamond sponsor for USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Zane is the author of the world's first tooth fairy ever, as well as many other children's books. She's also the television host of Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living, seen on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book, Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.